Hi, this is Brent from brentmailphotography.com, and today I'm going to show you exactly how I photograph a portrait outdoors, dealing with all the elements, the wind and the sun. It's a bright sunny day today, which is not always the best for shooting portraits, and I'm going to show you exactly how I go about photographing a model or a portrait outdoors, dealing with all the elements. I'm going to shoot with my 200mm lens, my telephoto lens, and popping in a little bit of fill flash with my flash just to fill in the shadow part of Millie's face. And I've got Millie in the background, beautiful model, and we're going to photograph her facing into the wind with the sun behind her, and getting some beautiful shots with the dune grass going off into the background with a very shallow depth of field. I'm going to use a wide open aperture. F4 on this lens is the biggest aperture that this lens goes, and we're going to photograph her with a shallow depth of field because I want Millie to jump out from the background. I'm popping a little bit of fill flash, so I put my camera onto the electronic through the lens metering, ETTL, and I've got it at -1 stop fill flash. So let's just have a look at how that works. I might put that onto high speed flash, which will work a lot better in the sun. Great, that's it. There we go. Let's have a look. Gorgeous. Okay, so these are the settings I'm using. Aperture value and F4, if you can see that. F4 over there. And then my flash is set to -1 1/3 stops. And what I'm doing is I'm focusing on Millie's eye that's closest to me, and I'm shooting at about 200mm on this telephoto lens, just so that I can get that very shallow depth of field, and then I can zoom out a little bit more, and I might just move around a little bit more. There we go, beautiful. Great, Millie, just glance this way at me. There we go, beautiful. Maybe you can turn your shoulders a little more towards me. Love that, great. See, now I'm getting a little bit of sun on Millie's face, which may work or it may not. I just want to have a look. We might turn your face just a little bit. There we go. Stop. Perfect. And just look into the wind again to get your hair out of your face. That's it. And then glance this way. Perfect. Love that. Yeah, love that smile, Millie. Beautiful. Her face is in the shade. The sun's behind her. I'm getting sun highlights on her hair, and she's got beautiful dark hair, so it's really good to have the sun behind her because it actually brings out the highlights in her dark hair. So great job, Millie. Thank you. Here's another one of the images I took of Millie. You can notice that I've got the very shallow depth of field again. I'll just click that. You can have a look at the background's out of focus, her back shoulder's out of focus, and even though part of her front shoulder's in focus, the rest is out of focus. It's a great shot. I'll zoom in a little bit just so that you can have a look at the her eyes. See the catch lights in her eyes? That's from the fill flash that I got on my camera. So the flash is adding the catch lights to her eyes, and it's also filling in a little bit of the shadow part of her face. You can also see I've got a little bit of highlights on her lips due to the flash that I shot, and there's a little bit of light coming through from the sun, but most of it's been blocked. So that's a great image. Her front eyes in focus, her back eyes also in focus, so I've got enough depth of field to have both eyes in focus, and that's a great shot. The only thing I'd probably do is darken this part of her shoulder because it's lighter than the rest of the image, and it kind of takes your eye away a little bit from the rest of the image. As we zoom out, you can see that's the lightest part. So your eye normally goes to either the lightest part of an image or the most contrasty part of an image. But that's another great shot from Millie. Here's another shot I've got of Millie, and I just wanted to show you the depth of field in the shot. So I'll zoom in a little bit. You can see the background's out of focus, really out of focus, the green foliage. Her back shoulder's out of focus, her front shoulder seems to be in focus. But as we zoom into 100%, I'll show you what is in focus here. So
her front shoulder actually is a little bit in focus, probably because it's the same distance from my lens as her front eye, but I was focused on her front eye over here, and I can show you the really zoomed in version, and I have a look at how her front eye is in focus and her back eye is out of focus. So we've got a very shallow depth of field, which comes from two things. It comes from the wide open aperture, so a wide open aperture and a long focal length. So I was shooting at 200 millimeters on my lens, and at f4, which is the widest aperture that I could have. That's what gives me that very shallow depth of field, which is wonderful for portraits. It really makes the portraits jump out.